Okay, well, hope you all are doing well. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update on what I've been working on. Not a whole lot's changed over the last week or so. I've been dealing with some automobile vehicle issues that I had, and my wife and I had. And so, and I'm also waiting for decals to come in from Pato. And so I really haven't moved much down here. I did disassemble the cars on the back row there, and I'll just kind of go over what I've been doing, what I will be doing. I am working on this 2000 Matt Kenseth Busch Series black Visine car. As you can see, if you're not familiar with Matt Kenseth kind of folklore, this was a one-off paint scheme that he drove at Talladega in the year 2000 in the Busch Series in April. And what had happened was he had qualified second in his normal, blue. This is the normal blue car. He had qualified second, Talladega, the super speedway. But in practice, he crashed his primary car. And so what had happened was he had taken, or Robbie Reiser at the time, Robbie Reiser Enterprises, I don't know all the details, but apparently they had their backup car, they had sold it to Hank Parker Jr. And when he crashed his car on Saturday during practice, he needed his car back. So his backup car came back to him, and apparently it was black. And they just left it black and went ahead and slapped the logos on it and raced a black car. Only time he's ever raced a black Visine car. And even though he had qualified second and he had the second pit stall, he had to start at the back of the field, 43rd. And midway through the race, he was leading the race. I think he ended up leading like 15 laps or so. But then at the end, he got shuffled to the back or to the middle and finished like 21st or something. So, anyways, I'm making this car, and it was the a Team Caliber Owner Series of Visine car, and so so I'm building that. I've got it, and this is for my personal collection. I've got it pretty much done, and I just need to apply these decals, trim them down a little bit, and put them on. Put them on the car. The one interesting thing about this particular car, that I guess it was a 2000 thing, but I'm kind of getting a little bit closer here. See if we can see this. But NASCAR had this special little logo here that says basically NASCAR 2000. And that went there, and they put the NASCAR race car logo back here on this, behind here where it says NASCAR Busch Series. So it's very odd. I don't know if they've ever done this any year previously, but as I build cars and notice where little things go, that was one thing that's pretty odd about this particular car. And so thankfully from Pato, Pato has the decals that show that location. And when I first started building these, I was like, hey, that's out of place. But looking at the pictures, actually there's not too many pictures. I was going to show you that. That's where it is. And so show you real quick. When I Google 2000 Kenseth black Visine, this is what I see. And obviously, people's searches are tailored to them. But you can see, some 160 or 124s, and then these are some that I made years ago and sold on eBay. But there's no readily available pictures of this car. They don't exist. So you kind of have to go back to specific websites. What I like to do is go to YouTube and I'll watch the race, and I'll pause it when they focus on his car, and look at the actual car that was raced on the track. And obviously the video is pretty trustworthy. So anyways, that's that car that I'm building. The other thing I did was I had showed that these didn't have the front. These are some 2003 Busch Series cars. These didn't have the decals on the front quarter panels. They also don't have this NASCAR race car decal. And so I looked it up and went ahead and saw that, they're there, and put them on. So you can see you've got the Moog, the Clevite, Edelbrock, Comp, JE, 76, and the Wicks. And just added them on there and added this. Now I say I added them. There's a couple of sources for that. This was a Pato sheet that I bought a while ago, and it's got a whole bunch of just little tiny sponsors that can go in that position. And so that's one source. The other source I had was some of the 2003 Matt Kenseth decal sets that I bought. Sometimes Pato will ship them with two different sets. So you have one set of decals to make the car, but then you have a couple other decals that are available, and then you can use those for other cars. And so that's where I got. So I went ahead and added those on, and so these are ready to package up. And when I say package up, what I do, I'll just show you real kind of quickly some of the stuff that I have going to the Matt Kenseth family at the end of the day now, because their museum is closed. This is a box of cars. This is kind of how I package them. I will put them in this little baggie with a little piece of paper towel around it, and then I'll write what's on it. This is a 2002 Busch Janet King with the black hood. And so that's in there, and that's ready to go. So I kind of package them up like that, and of course I try to get them as great as I can before I ship them off, as high quality as I can. So now that those three are done, 2003 ones, I'll be able to package those up, and I'm working on these 2004. And again, they don't have any sponsors on the Team Caliber didn't put any sponsors in there. So I'll look that up and put those on there. I just painted this spoiler black because it comes white on this Waste Management 2004 car, but it's actually black in the picture, so I painted that black. Again, to be more like what was raced on the track. What I'm doing back here, I did want to show you real quick. I've got, I'm doing two of the 2012 Ricky Stenhouse Best Buy. I'm doing two of the 2012 Ricky Stenhouse Rancher. And then I'm doing two of the 2007 Kenny Wallace Furniture Row Racing number 78 cars. So again, those are all custom requests, but what I'm doing is I'm making two of each because I'm going to sell one of them on eBay, and then the other one's going to go to the one that requested them. So how those are going to be, and I've already dipped them and stripped them down and wire brushed them and sanded them. So what they're going to look like, so here's the Best Buy car, and the decals are coming. There will be yellow and there's no blue, so I'm painting the car blue, so it'll look like that. This particular car is the Ranchers, I don't know what that says, Ranchers something, something about some beef, tender beef. So those decals are coming with the black, and so I'll paint the car red and do that. And then the Kenny Wallace car, now this is going to be a problem. I say a problem, this is going to be a challenge. The decals for this car they are just the black and white and the 78, the kind of reddish 78 on the roof. This kind of burgundy red metallic here and this orange I'm going to have to paint because the decal set doesn't have it from Pato. So that's going to be a real challenge. Whenever you have to do 2 different shades of paint on a car and then apply the decals, it's going to be tough, because my plan is I'm going to paint it with the burgundy red, the whole thing, and then I've got a kind of a Model Masters Go Mango color, and I think it'll be, I'll try to tape it off, but it'll be hard to tape it off because there's not too many, or the seams are going to be pretty exposed. So here, not too bad, right? This decal here, but as this decal comes up, the red to the orange gets pretty tight around this headlight. Now, this isn't too bad. I'll be able to paint this orange pretty here, but I'll have to make sure that I size it up pretty well for these decals on the side, because the thickness here will be between the orange and the red. Here is going to be very hard. I'll have to get that real perfect on this back quarter panel here. The roof is going to be very difficult. You can see there's just this thin black line around here separating the orange from the red, and then basically there's the only thing here is that roof line. So this is definitely going to be a challenge making this car. I see it here. Somebody built it there, and a 124 and a 164. So that's my goal. I'm targeting it to look like this, and I mean, this is really, really good. Whoever built this did a fabulous job. I think this is Diecast Crazy. Yeah, whoever built it just did a terrific job, and so I'm going to try to make it like that. With with this picture being my example. I'm not sure I'll use this orange on the front here down at the bottom. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that's needed or not. I see it here. It's got a little bit of orange here, although that's really taped up. No, I think that's a different one. That's a qualifying car. I'm not following that. That's a different. Yeah, that's different altogether. But anyways, the decal set kind of looks like this. So you can see there's no burgundy red and there's no orange. You have to paint that. And those are, again, making cars for over 10 years. It's a real challenge, no doubt. So, bring you over here. This is kind of how I paint the cars. I'm using this for the Best Buy car, the 2012 Ricky Stenhouse Best Buy. This is the Gloss Brilliant Blue from Rust-Oleum. It's a paint and primer, and it's it's really nice. It's a very good match to the Best Buy blue. And so again, what I do is I kind of apply the bottom underneath here, a little bit on the sides, get underneath there and underneath there, so that's ready to go. I did this yesterday actually, and so this is all dry, ready to paint. And then I'm not going to show you painting it right now. I gotta take a minute to shake up the can. There's no reason to bore you guys with that. But I think I've showed you this before. This is my little 12 gauge electrical wire that I've kind of fashioned into a car carrier. And so what I'll do is when I go to move the car over to the other table, I bring it in like this and then like that. And the reason that this piece is shorter is because you can see on the back, obviously there's nothing there, but on the front you have these two bars that come down to hold the wheel in place. And so when I'm lifting the car, it will hit that sometimes. If I paint it with it over the edge, it's not a problem, because I can go under here and lift it like that, no problem. But if it's back here, sometimes I have it like that. I just get that under there, and so basically I'm holding it on 3 different areas, and I can carry the car safely over to the other side. So anyways, that's just a little technique that I've been using for, again, probably 7 or 8 years since I've been painting on this little box. So yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. I was emailing with one of the guys that has sent a custom request to me, and I was telling him how I'm also trying to lay some wood flooring in one of my rooms as I'm waiting for decals from Pato. So that's my wood flooring tool from DeWalt that I use to install hardwood flooring, and so I'm also doing that. So yeah, it's nice to have a hobby. It's nice to make these cars, but sometimes life catches up to you and you got to do other stuff with your spare time. And yeah, I was looking. That was the other thing. I was looking for some paint because I needed to paint the room before I put the wood flooring in. So we had a bunch of leftover paint from over the years of painting different rooms and different things. But anyways, that's kind of why I haven't posted a video in probably over a week, because I've been doing some other things and trying to, keep the wife happy, and all, I got 2 teenage girls, trying to the room I'm painting and doing wood flooring in is the room that they kind of do their studying, and they have their desks in there for school. And so now that it's summertime and school's out, now's a good time to get in there. We're tearing out the carpet and painting the room and putting in wood flooring, and then once we're done, we'll put all this stuff back in there. So that's kind of my plan for this week, is to move that, get that done. So I probably won't be posting a video here for a few days, and unless I get decals from Pato, and I'll definitely post that video, because to me, I've said this before, it's like Christmas morning when I get those decals. So that'll be exciting to show you guys. But all right, hope everybody's doing well, and we will talk to you soon. God bless.